Okay, okay. How well do you guys hear me? How loud is that music? Let me know. Okay. Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to another Sunday night art stream here on the Burgos Art. started off later than usual. You know, been a bit of a too chill of a day. I was taking it too easy today. Things ran late, and the stream is late. Have a sore throat because for two reasons. I've been, one, talking way too much. Hung out with friends yesterday, and we just talked, and I laughed, and I got a sore throat. But also because you ever done one of those things where you go lay down for a nap, or you just kind of lay back, and you you cough and you choke on your own spit, like it goes down the wrong tube. That happened earlier to me today, and I've been coughing since then. But anyway, as the title says today, make sure that, where's that title? There we go. As the title says today, we are enjoying some new sprites. So if you guys probably saw, if any of you out there saw last week's short 1 hour art stream of just me kind of rambling about what I've been up to, I've been working with GDevelop, the gaming software, and I took, so this right here is the original drawing ideas for the game. The game, One Arm Bandit, and I turned that drawing into a sprite, which was roughly, I believe it was 200 pixels high sprite, right? And that was years ago. And as of recently, this past month, I took that old sprite, made a really quick sprite sheet of running animation, attacking animation, and I've been fiddling with GDevelop and using him, the One Arm Bandit, in GDevelop. And I'm in no ways perfect with GDevelop yet, but I have the basic. Oh, by the way, take note of when that pops up. We'll come back to that. I'm in no way perfect with GDevelop. I'm no way an expert at it, but I've learned enough for the movement, the interactions, where I want to just keep going making this. So I decided if I'm going to keep going, I could either keep practicing with scrap assets, or I should take some time and make some cleaned up assets. That way, as I keep going, I don't have to go back and redo all the assets. I could just kind of turn the prototype into the final, as opposed to doing a complete prototype and a complete final, which would just drive me crazy. So I decided to go back and retry. So let me pop this open. Let me pop open there we go. So, file open. Where are my sprites at? One moment, please. Sprite work. One Arm Bandit. Okay. Boom. Here is our base. Okay. Open. So here is the One Arm Bandit as he is seen. My stream's still going? What's going on? Stand by. Double checking my second device. Make sure it still says it's going. Yeah, it's still going. Okay. So here is the One Arm Bandit sprite I did. He is approximately, he should be 200 pixels high, right? If I could just make sure, where is I don't want to transform it, canvas size. So theoretically, if I do this and I change that, he is roughly 228 pixels high. That's him. I'm gonna cancel that. So this is a sprite I've been using for the game I'm testing out. But part of me wants to really shrink this down. Part of me wants to redraw this, even though I'm really happy with this. Part of me wants to redraw this and make it a smaller sprite. Now, these are the original pictures, the original characters. Actually, let me deselect. These are the original drawings I did in a sketchbook years ago, many years ago. That kind of just this was all I did. Had some basic ideas of like what I wanted for like the game in terms of characters. Now, let me double check. Drawing wise, he is 900 pixels high. So I actually shrank him and then I drew him. So let's cancel that. So I am thinking, why don't we go for like small pixel artwork, right? I'm thinking, what can we do small pixel artwork? Can I redraw him? Can I redraw all of this at a scale of maybe 100 pixels, right? Simplified 100 pixels, right? And maybe I'm thinking maybe a black and white aesthetic, like make the entire game like it's old wanted posters done in just black and white. I don't know why, but I want to try that aesthetic. But before we do any of that, I do want to look at something. By the way, background music is it is Aim to Head Official. That's the website. Aim to Head Official is the not website. It's a channel on YouTube. This particular video is literally just called 2 hours dark techno / cyberpunk. Copyright free. This one I believe is called Unscared. Yeah, it is Unscared. That's what it's called. Now I want to check something right now. Right now, before it gets too boring on the main screen, let me get rid of you. Don't need you. Let me leave this up. I don't want to get too boring. I'm right now going to go online and do a quick little search. I am going to see. Sorry, just adjusting my own volume. I'm going to look up certain artwork I like. Certain sprites I do admire. And I want to see what their height is. Just out of curiosity. Oh, there's a really nice page I just found about sprite tutorials. Primarily with Metal Slug, which I think is really nice. I am going to bookmark this. Metal Slug sprite tutorial. It's a very nice, very nice, oh, very nice. Oh my god, it's like, yeah, check it out. It was like the first thing I typed in, Metal Slug sprite tutorial. It's a very detailed tutorial on how they do the sprites in Metal Slug, how they do certain elements. Using basic shapes and basic colors. How they do textures. Wow, I'm gonna bookmark this. Stand by. Bookmark that. Let's move that to my artwork folder. Anyway, yeah, I just want to look up what the height of the average Metal Slug sprite was. Like the average character sprite. In order to better understand how much detail I might be able to squeeze into it. I wasn't looking for a website that allowed me to like literally learn how they do their sprites. That's something I will look into later. Someone just jumped into the chat. Go to sleep. Hello. Hello. Thank you for joining us in the chat. I need to make my chat bigger if I can see it better. Thank you for jumping in. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to right now, like for Metal Slug, what is the general height of their human sprites? Like how many pixels high are they? Ah, nice. It was an artist on DeviantArt who made the entire information sheet and then made a website for it. Very nice. Division 6 Tank. Check out Division 6 Tank. That's the number 6. On DeviantArt. They have, from there you can also find a link to their sprite pages and stuff. Yeah, sorry, I'm just like, should have done research earlier. Yep, so these are my drawings. These are some drawings from like many, many years ago. And a few years after that, I turned this cowboy who's he's a slot machine. He's the one-armed bandit. Into a sprite. And I've been using him to practice game developing in the website gdevelop.io, which is an amazing game developing program / website. He's the original sprite. I've done a sprite sheet for him, but I'm thinking I want to go back and completely rework him, and that's what we're doing today. So I'm just out of curiosity right now trying to look up some of my favorite sprites from video games and like what is the average height, how many pixels are high are they, to give me an idea of what maybe I should aim for. There we go. Sprite dimensions, let's see. You know what? I could look up and down all I can. This guy's right now just over 200 sprites high. What I'm gonna do is make a sprite sheet on a much smaller scale and see how well I can do this, because I'm not a sprite person. So how much can we do in this 100 sprite high square? Right? Let's go for the cacti. I've been wanting to do the cacti for a while. I'm gonna grab her. Copy, paste it here. We're going to have to shrink her down, of course. Something like that. Lower that opacity. Let's change the background to a color it's a bit more muted. There we go. And let's just jump into it. So essentially what we're doing today is trying to find my style in sprites. What is my style? What exactly can I pull off? What works, what doesn't work? This is me doing my first attempt at figuring out, like, not my first, sorry. In a previous video, if you check out my YouTube channel, we have the older video saved there. In a previous video, I did attempt to do sprite work of another older character of mine. But in that, the sprite, I did a sprite that was just color, no black outline, and it looked nice for a first try. I was really happy with it, but maybe I think maybe I need to simplify it even more. Less color, just like 2-tone shades as opposed to 3-tone shades like I was doing. And maybe I should go ahead and give it. Maybe I should do a black outline around it. You know, like a straight up this illustration drawing as opposed to like a painting, if that makes sense. I'm trying to find that. I'm trying to find that understanding between too much detail, not enough detail. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how exactly am I going about this? Since I'm going for a black and white, or should I do more grayscales? Like I'm still also trying to figure that out. The original drawing, all the spikes are just on the outer edge, almost like a silhouette. They're not actually coming they're not anywhere on her. They're just coming out from the sides. So this is like one of the first villain concepts, and there is a freaking advertisement. God, what's the point of having a freaking YouTube? I want to use the background music that Streamlabs uses. But it's weird because every time I do it, I get not a copyright strike, but I get a copyright warning. So apparently the music Streamlabs provides is perfectly fine on Twitch, but not on YouTube. And since these videos are held permanently on YouTube, I'd rather have, you know, the music on YouTube. here's the question. Do I go with a strictly black and white color scheme for these characters? Or do I go more for grayscale? Trying to find the voice of this game. Excuse me. Gonna file save real quick. Save as. So this is a new sprite. I'm gonna label this cacti. We're gonna say cacti base. This is her base image for the meantime. Save. Okay. See, these are just early villains. They just kind of spring out the ground and they kind of just like wave back and forth. They're just more like obstacle villains where if you bump into them, they'll hurt you. They're not actively trying to get to you. But they do want to hug you. They do love you, which is why I get the little... which is when I first drew her, I gave her a little heart with spikes on it. Let me label this as inks for now. Let's call that the ink layer. Yeah. Let me not drive myself crazy. And let me try and do just some... So the whole thing, let's say the whole thing's gonna have grayscales. I think I believe part of what I'm gonna have to do is decide am I just doing a full grayscale or am I gonna be really picky and try to choose there you go. Or am I gonna be really picky and try to choose what's the word I'm thinking of? That's too light. Let me switch it up. Am I gonna be really picky and just like choose a certain handful of like gray tones for the whole game? It is a Western game. Like that's kind of the theme. It's meant to be like Wild West, fantasy Wild West, obviously. You know, living cacti and stuff. Maybe I should go for brown tones. Sienna, if that makes sense. tool. Yeah, I kind of like that. Just really simple, grayscale with like two tones. Saves me a headache of certain shading. And that looks nice. Like, you see how small it is on the screen? I don't know if you... it's on the main screen right there. That is the 100%. That is... that is the accurate scaling. I do like that. Maybe we should aim for that. Maybe we should aim for just... I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with the lines in the bottom at the moment. Yeah, I think that's a good way to aim for this. Dante's first game. She just kind of like wobbles like that. Maybe I'll do an animation where she actually grows out the ground, so she's not there until the player gets close, because she's a standing enemy. The player can easily just avoid her, but if she just pops out the ground, that might be a good idea. So we're gonna save that. Okay, that's our first. Alright, it's our first basic sprite. I am gonna do some adjustments on the black layer. Make these spikes more triangular, more tapered. There's a freaking advertisement again. That's better. More upward. Alright. Oh, I'm missing a spike. I know I was missing a spike somewhere. Oh, but the way I drew this. Yeah, I think I want to add maybe... let's add a few more spikes. Kind of make it a bit more apparent that she's a dangerous one. How's that look? Better. Oh, chat just blew up. Hello, hello, guys. Who we have? Who we have? Cotorius Rex. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. I didn't know these things were parents. Did I miss a joke? I must have missed a joke. I don't know if these things are parents. I must have missed a joke. But if you're just jumping in, man, so to roll it back, this guy, head to top of his hat is about 100. Is about 200, 220 pixels, 230 pixels. I'm thinking I want to roll back this concept completely, style-wise, for him. And I'm thinking I want to shrink it down to smaller, simplified pixels. This character is 100 pixels, so I'm thinking I'm gonna aim for the 100 pixel height for the average character, for the average villain and hero, about 100 pixels in height, right? And I'm thinking of redrawing him and everything in a simplified black and white scale. It's gonna be smaller, black and white with just the two tones, two gray tones, right? I'm thinking of aiming for that. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. This is what I'm hoping right now. Making her a parent. You're making a dad joke that I'm not picking up, man. I'm sorry. Maybe I said apparently earlier, and it just went over my own head. Sorry. Good to have you as always. All right. New. 100 pixels. We zoom in there. Pop, 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 pop. All right. So we should be focusing on redrawing him altogether, but I do want to get a few of the other characters in there first. You know, just kind of avoiding the fact that I have to redraw his sprite altogether. But I do have the sprites, so it's just a matter of like resizing them and really like reapproaching them, you know? Copy and paste. Shrink this baby down. Why won't you let me shrink you? Come on. Size. There we go. That's the wrong one. Cancel. What happened? Copy. Paste. There she is. Now, I don't really have a set name for her. For now, we'll call her... This is Miss Daisy. Okay, so complete jumbled mess. We are going to have to raise... So she's going to be a little taller because she has a feather on her hat. So she's actually a little short. She's shorter than 100 pixels, but her hat, her little feather makes the entire sprite taller. Alright. I can barely make sense of this drawing. The drawing is really just there for like the most basic of reference. Let me see something. Yes, something I said earlier. Sorry, I forgot I said it myself. Prickly peach. I like that. Maybe I'll call it prickly peach. Okay, so I'm going to be jumping back and forth to make sense of my own reference at some point. All right. So, gloves. Give I guess basic black gloves. If that makes sense. That is the wrong color. Nope. I am using basic black, please. Thank you. I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. So this drawing was done on a whim. I didn't do any research on how the attire should look. So that's what we're going to stick with for the meantime. Ugh. Let's try that again, shall we? So we're trying to super simplify this face. That's making the eye. I'm making the eye super big. I don't know if it's working for us. It's a bit much. Okay, so the coloring is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting for us right now. All right. For now, we'll stick with that for the inks, right? Shrink her down to actual size. Right. And she stands like her actual height is 90. She's gonna be a little shorter than our protagonist, but the feather keeps her at like 107. So she's within the 100 range. Alright, file save.
When was the last time?
Freaking advertisement. What's the point of these? What's the point of having, like, you know, several hours straight music interrupted by freaking advertisement. Let's make a new folder. We'll call it Daisy for now. Miss Daisy. And we'll call this Daisy Base. Save. Alright. Let's get some gray tones. We're gonna sample directly from here in order to help keep us roughly in the same ballpark. I took away the frill she has around her neck just to once again help simplify the shapes. Gonna add a bit more of a curve to that. I guess the exposed pantaloons she's like showing off. She's like in a can pose where the dress is a little pulled back than it should be for a proper woman. Your mileage may vary on that statement. Oh no, wait, that's the lighter color. Shoot, did it backwards. Oh well, I could do this. Maybe I should just do the boots also just black. I want to give her light hair, to be honest. So you know what? Let's make the feather dark. Yeah, let's make the feather dark. Make the hair light. Or lighter. What's the point of this freaking pen if it's not going to do what I want? Nope. So I can use a G pen. It just has a bad habit of like flexing because it's meant to be pressure sensitive as a part to just using a straight up dot pen tool. I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to make the dress. I'm just going to completely make the dress darker, right? And then we'll work the shades. We'll adjust the shades afterwards from there. That's that. Yeah. Yes, I'm not choosing precise shades of darkness as like the main palette. I'm actually just kind of going up and down the scale of grays, trying to give myself more options, if that makes sense. That's that. So let me go a little darker. No, because it blends into that. It's too close. So I think I'll just leave this. I'll leave this as one singular tone. There's not much of it anyway on her, so there's no real reason to change it. But the erase button. But I want to give the sense that she has like lighter hair. This is just white apparently. It just looks off to me. Maybe because I have the blue in the background. But you can read that better, which is good. I think what I should also do is go to the ink layer. Part of me is thinking I want to try and better define that hand. No, doesn't help. Might as well keep this black. On a small scale, doing little highlights like that don't matter. Let me fix the shape of this, like, of this whole face area. Okay. Not exactly this. We'll save this drawing for up-close shots. But it does work for now. See, I'm using Clip Studio. I'm not sure if Clip Studio has an option to like have a preview screen, not the navigator screen, but like a preview screen to see of actual size, which is why I keep doing this. So that way I'm not drawing the sprite and seeing it in real time. I'm zooming in and zooming out, so I gotta be careful with that. Okay. There's a little bit of color bleed. It's not too noticeable to you guys, but I see it. Yeah. So once again, a simplified version of this. That's readable on a larger scale. On a smaller scale, that is. Alright, we're doing good. We're doing good. I feel like I cracked my elbow and now it's killing me. Alright, alright, alright. Okay then. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. She's good for now. Might do a pass at her later. So let's save that. So we have Miss Daisy, and then we have the cactus, or as Cotorius Rex called her, Prickly Peach, which is a fun name. I feel like she should have. I feel like she shouldn't have a pretty name. Well, pretty-esque. Peach is cute, not a cute name. It should be like Prickly Petunia, like. You know, she's like, "Oh, darling, welcome back, darling. I love you so much." Like that's kind of her personality. For now, we have Daisy, Miss Daisy, which you know, like Driver Miss Daisy. That's the name I have right now. Right, that's the name we're gonna give her right now. Alright. Doing a small scale sprites on these guys. Alright. She's saved. Now, of course, from the original sheet is the man himself. So we're going to try and take him and redesign him on a smaller scale. In black and white. So why don't we take the actual sprite we have here, right? I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to just go ahead and merge visible layers. I'm going to copy. We're going to make a new 100 by 100 sprite sheet, or rather wall. I'm going to boop. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to close this because I don't want to accidentally save this. Do not save. I don't want to accidentally ruin that. So because he's already at a 200 scale, if I shrink him down, makes it easy to work with. Oh, I gotta change some things because his sword is too. So I want to be just at 100. Yeah, just about 100, give or take. Let me actually adjust the size of the canvas. Let's make the width 120. Nope, make it from this side. Try again. 125. Make sure the knife fits. Okay. Better. I'm going to once again scale him up just a pinch. Alright. Save as. This is going to be hero base B-L black and white. Making a new hero character, a new hero base. Folder. Hero B-L. New folder. New base. Save. Alright. Drop this guy down. We're going to once again use a light green kind of background. There we go. That way I can see exactly where the black and whites are at. Lock that down and let's jump into it. Why is that not working? There we go. Now here's the thing. This is a slot machine I drew. And it's not how old slot machines look like. Let's do a little search. So I'm going to do a little redesign as well. Change a few things about the body. Nothing too crazy. Old slot. Not for sale, just old slot machine. Let's make it 1890. Wild West. There we go. Found a website called The Evolution of Slot Machines. And slot machines had tons of ornate little details on them. They weren't like super simple boxes. But I'm not going to draw a bunch of details on them. You just have to read the fact. You have to visually be able to tell these are a slot machine. Ah, nice. I found some good pictures. They're super small though. What is that? No pop-up, please. No pop-ups. Copy image. So I'm on a website that says The Evolution of Slot Machines. Right? I'm going to go ahead and just put it right here. Paste. I'm going to zoom in on that for a minute. It's a little blurry, but you can kind of see it. I have one that says 1891. I have 1895 to 99. Then you have 1960s and 19... Okay, so we're kind of looking at the first two, right? Let me move this around a bit. There we go. It's not too off. Like, it's not too off at all. A lot of them had small little slots for the coins to come out. Some had, when I drew that little thing on top, that's how the old coin slots were in a lot of these older pictures I found. A little hook on top. In fact, perfect. I found an example of it. That's what I was saying that. Why does this website have such small freaking pictures? Make this bigger. Then I'm gonna also delete the part I don't need, which is anything from the 90s. Well, 1900s that is. Delete that. There we go. Alright. Here we go. This is a lot better. So I have like 1887, which is kind of the, I guess, the time frame I'm looking for. Wild Western time, up to like 89. Because like in the U.S., we definitely had electricity by the late 1880s. Because the UK had electricity in the 80s, so that's like, you know, light bulbs and stuff, more and more of that. So like I'm looking a little bit before that. So the original slot machines were way simpler. I guess the design I did definitely fits a little bit more in the 1890s. So it still works. There's nothing too crazy about it. Let me close these windows. Now those older slot machines didn't have the round ball at the end of it. Like the stick with the round ball. These were just like metal handles you'd pull down. But I like the fact that he has a giant red hand. It kind of makes you think of the giant like red ball you would see like on like when you think slot machine. Even though yes, it was just a handle. The red ball is more of like modern slot machines. There's a slot machine here called the Liberty Bell. It's black, but it has almost the exact same build of what I have here. Alright, so you know what? We're kind of in the clear when it comes to like trying to like design stuff. I'm going to change certain things about it myself though. Like its little spring body. I might want to put an actual spring on that. What a surprise. A lot of the early slot machines have a curve, which is why I gave his chest that. So that works too. Yeah, I think we're going to be sticking with most of this, to be honest. It's the leg I want to change a little bit. Maybe I'll give him like little feet. Because some slot machines had like a wooden base and little feet, and some didn't. Once again, many options. I'm thinking I want to extend, like give him a bigger chest. That way you could see better the slots on his chest. Now in the past, to make it easier to animate, I did it more in pieces. But for the base, I'm just going to draw this, and then when it's time to animate him, I'll take the base and I'll break up the base into pieces. Right now I just want to draw it straight out. I want to get this as close as we can to like a finished product. Kind of making his size also a little bigger, his general like proportions. So I am going to keep the hand, even though like traditionally these apparently were like just silver, like a silver bar. That's what it was on the old slot machines. They weren't like a pole with a big knob on it, but I want to keep the big knob. I like the idea. I want to make sure I also manage to keep as much of the eye as possible, so I might need to actually make these bigger too. There we go. Remove the neck entirely from view.
Sound the gifting panic alarm.
Oh, for God's sake.
Gift. You have 0 ideas and you don't know where to start.
The music wasn't even finished yet and it was like already playing freaking. Let's make the sash even bigger on the back end. Like really push those proportions so you can see it better. I'm Doug Dimmadome. I'm not sure if this is gonna register. Trying to get trying to put little teeth on it, if that makes sense. I'm doing it backwards. That's the problem. Oh yeah, they actually. Yeah, you can actually see that. That's nice. You can see that. Let me try something real quick. Why do you do that? Like on my device, on my secondary device, this little tablet I have, it just never shows the most recent. Like it's getting cut off. Like it just doesn't want to show the most recent like uh typed in information. Like you guys can see it on the stream, but my device won't. Like it doesn't scroll past a certain point. It is a very annoying thing it does. Mm. Mm-mm. I don't know. I just gotta start using a different device at this point. This old tablet, like I barely use it for anything. And the one thing I use it for isn't like 100%, you know? I'm gonna change the canvas size a pinch. I want to make it just enough. Where I could put his hat in correctly. Give his hat a little oomph. He's still roughly in the 100 pixel scale, but I want his hat to stick up a bit. There we go. All right. I think the base is going to be a slight change. Nothing crazy. Let's just make sure this is still readable as the coin slot, or rather the coin dump location. Good. Thinking. Just doing that. Giving him like a wooden base. Now here's the part that's going to be a complete pain in the tuchus. But then again, that's why we extended the length of his chest. It's not working because my hand is too shaky. Maybe that's the real issue. I gave it more length, but not enough, like, thickness. So maybe I should pull this back. Yeah, something like that. Just to give us like 1 or 2 extra pixels of like movement here. That might do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect his chest to be readable, but I want it to be shown that he has like the actual, like, you know, the little spinning pieces. There we go. Cause some of these have like, yeah, like a little rim around them anyway. Yeah. it works. It does work. Okay. Alright, we're doing good. It's 10:18, we're gonna go a little bit longer and then we should, well, first of all, save. It's 10:18, we're going a little bit longer. At the very least, we're gonna get the basic black lines done. There may be some color. Oh, what to do for here? Maybe it should just be a mechanical joint. Maybe I shouldn't do a spring because I have all these spring concepts for the Clockwork Queen. What if I just... Oh, that's the wrong button. What if I just gave him like... It's not a lot of room to indicate... let me go back. Oh, okay, forward. Make a new layer real quick. Oh, let's try something crazy. Nope. It should be a circle. That's an oval. Come on, work with me. Come on, even. It's trying to scale itself properly. No, you just had it. Curse my freaking... No. I'm gonna use the mouse. There we go. I have to use the mouse because I couldn't get it right with my freaking... Okay. So I'm thinking. Come on. Nope, that's the wrong one. Right about there, I'm thinking. And then we... Nope. Nope. Okay, let's back this all up. Why don't we grab the foot, move it forward? Right? We're gonna okay that. Then we're gonna put this in here. Then, oh wait, something went. I moved something. Okay, good. And now, let's redo this. basically trying to make like a little pivot, like a little. How I say this? Pin.
Meet Asana.
I don't care about freaking Asana.
Get more done and save more time.
Can't even skip it. It's just like meet Asana, then this still image for the next 5 minutes. Come on, yo. There we go. Okay, now we do this. I change this. Still looks a little off to me. Hello? Why can't I erase you? There we go. That's better. I think the real issue is that this has to go. There we go. And let us copy this, copy paste. I'm going to move what got copy and pasted. There we go. There we go. That looks better. I'm going to move this down a pinch. Try again. About there. All right. Yeah. Let's combine all these little ink layers. There's our bandit at the moment. Redone, simplified, smaller. He has a simple like joint at his waist. Yeah. There's a weird artifact as you call it, right there. Okay, last but not least, first we're gonna save that. Last but not least, let's put in his band-aid. Okay, he's a one-armed bandit. And he has scars, and I believe that was the end of our 2-hour. Oh no, we got one more song left. Actually works very well. Yeah. File save. Let's start with lighter colors. Probably start with this. Because his lightest color is his gold, like, body. Or golden body. So let's stick with the light colors first. It's not white, it's just close to it though. So for this game, all the light is coming from the top left. So everything else will have a shadow on that side. So the issue that he's made of metal, and I suck at coloring like metal tones, like gold rings. Like light doesn't just light curves and wraps around certain metal, you know, chromes. And at this scale, good luck trying to capture that. You know, good luck with that. There's an easy option, easy like not filter, but just a thing you could do in Clip Studio and Photoshop, where you could just do like a glow around a character, or you could set it where it's not so much a glow, but like a more pixelated outline. So I'm wondering if I should just do white outlines around all these characters. That way I don't have to worry about them disappearing into the background when I get to the background artwork. Things to think about. kind of want him to be close to her. I'm sticking with roughly the same color tones. Like, she has color tones based off of this girl. I want to say that was the last of the music. It was. I'm going to pause that because I don't want to have any more freaking surprise advertisement sounds. But yeah, I'm using the 4 shades here. The slightly 4 shades and a bit more for her, and so on and so forth. So like I'm trying to stay roughly within the same gray tones. So for example, these are the 3. You have the light, the darker, and then the darkest, which is this guy. You have this is the same as that. The one that's an outlier is this shade of gray. This shade of gray right here on the top of the knife is different. You can kind of see it. It's lighter, which is good because it goes hand in hand with this. So that shade of gray, maybe I'll stick it in here. Or maybe the real light. Real light, there we go, for reflective. And then I still have just flat out whites, which are going to go in his chest. Yeah, that's the chest, okay. You know what? We'll do the white here. White in his chest, white down the black bar in his arm, white in the eye. Doesn't look that much different, and I'm sure because of the background color, it doesn't. You're thinking that's white. It kind of gets thrown off with the greenish blue in the back. I know. Let's change that. Not the same as color. So this is this. Let's go with the gray. This darker gray. And just pure white. White is white if possible. For the chest. Let's go with this gray again. This particular shade of gray, a little lighter. Nope, wrong one. That's the one. Alright, so the light gray in the blade is same gray as the rest of the metal in his body. So let's make this. Is it the same as this? Yes, it is. Okay. So what I think I have here is like, let me back up. We have this, this, we have this, this. Is this the same? That's the same. This is the same as that. What is this then? Okay, he's an outlier. Okay, so he is like right there. There we go. Those are basically these are more or less the 4 shades, and then we have, of course, the whitest of the white. That's just white. And this is not the same as that. It's not the same as that. Not the same as that. Yeah, okay. You have 4 shades of dark, 4 shades of light. This is my palette. I should have done this to begin with, but I had to find it. I had to find my palette first. So what is this? This is, his body is that, with a darker shade of that. I'm using this dark shade as the base for here. Then I'll probably use this dark shade. Maybe a little darker. Yeah. It kind of goes, because this is like right beneath this, just about. This guy and the one beneath him, If I could, I should move this over. There we go. This guy that I'm pointing to and the one beneath him are extremely close. So they don't do well next to each other. Independently, they do fine. But next to each other, they kind of bleed into each other. So I gotta be careful with that. So if I'm using him, I shouldn't use him to be darker. I should use the one beneath that. Okay, nope, that's an erase. I'm erasing it by accident. Okay, let's do a little cleanup. Let's get the eraser in here. Get any bleed off. Let's go dark again. Nope, I'm still in the erase. This look better? Nah. Let's go with the wood concept. So this is like wood. Wood. Fill that in. Erase those two. Let me actually do a highlight on this. Maybe go a little darker with this. There we go. Okay, highlight, delete some stuff. Bring it up. This needs to be filled in right here. This needs to be filled in. And I want to say, oh, there's a little spot that's missing. Bloop. Let's get rid of that. We could take some white, just straight white, which doesn't look white on the screen, but it is. I'm telling you, it is. Let's take some straight white and just do like a streak right here. Maybe a little bit on the knuckle. Try not to do too many highlight stuff because, you know, when you zoom out, oh, there you can see it. Man, he looks good. Look at him. A little dark around the face because of the bandana and the hat, and I put a lot of shadow. You know what? Maybe I should go in there, and we are going to go ahead and take the light gray and just put more in there. I want to actually keep his face really visible. Even though it makes sense to have it in shadow, it just helps a bit more, I think. Yeah. So these are my gray tones. These are the tones I'm following. I'm debating if I should just combine this guy and this guy here. I don't know if I should just combine them and just like go back to the pictures and like fix them up before I get any further to help better define them. I could do that, or I could just keep those two slightly different color tones. But I think that's like the range at the moment. Let me also do that. Filling the gaps. Got stuck with the hiccups now. But yeah. He's a tiny man. The tiny robot man with a big ass knife. My friend said, he looks like the bad guy. I go, I know, that's the fun part. He's called the one-armed bandit, but he's a good guy. He looks like a bad guy, but he's a good guy. Yeah. And once again, the whole joke behind this is that no one knows he's a freaking slot machine that's come to life. It's the Chicken Boo effect, as I call it. If you've ever watched the original Animaniacs, where they had a lot more individual segments, I think the remake, or not remake, sorry, the revival, the continuation It cut out a lot of those segments because those required lots of more voice actors and stuff. So you don't really have like Chicken Boo. And Chicken Boo was literally just that. It was a giant chicken or a rooster, and he would like wear a hat or a scarf, and the whole gag in every single episode is everyone admires him. He's like an actor, a famous musician. He's a scientist. He's like this important person, but no one realizes he's a chicken except for one guy, and that's the whole running gag. The one guy would always run in and be like, "He's a chicken, I'm telling you," and everyone thinks he's crazy. And then at the end, he loses his hat or he loses a scarf, and everyone's like, "He is a chicken." But he's also apparently like a scientist, a piano player, an astronaut, but no one ever knows he's actually Chicken Boo. Because he wear a disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man, you're a Chicken Boo. And that was the freaking thing. We shrink these down. That's how she looks tiny, and that's how she looks tiny. The cactus comes off very clearly because she's big and broad. It's Daisy who's a little harder to notice. I need to mess with the colors a bit. I feel she gets a little lost around the midsection. There's a lot of dark colors, but the basic eye, there's a simple eye. I think the eye works, the face works. It's the it's around the stomach she gets a little lost. Maybe it's too dark. And then, boy, he looks great. The lighter colors, freaking, it pops. I think that's what it is. I think there's too much dark on her. So maybe before we call it a night, we try some stuff. Take this light gray, bring it around the waist a little bit. Maybe do 2 of them. I am on the ink layer. Do not do that. Do not do that, Dante. There we go. Because she's meant to have like a belt anyway, so. Maybe forget about the shading. Just go with the light gray. Forget about the shading. Then with the darker gray, there we go. Then we do this to better separate it. Broad colors, not thin colors. Broad shaded colors. And then we do that. It looks better. It's not perfect though. Yeah, the whole chest, it just gets lost. I don't know what's kind of bugging me. It is slightly bugging me though. Maybe we should just like, oh, that's why am I racing so wide? There we go. Maybe I should just like, yeah, less lines on the chest. Just kind of do that. Come on, select that black color. There we go. And then you drop that in there. And then we back it up. It's better. Not perfect. Still gotta figure a few things out here. It is bugging me. I want to see if we can get this tweaked just right. Color wise, just white skin right here. There we go. Better. Not perfect, but better. File save. Cacti's perfect. She needs a bit of a tweak. He, I think, is perfect. I think, mwah, like, that is it. That is the black and white, you know, just one-arm bandit. It's simplified. It is not perfect, but it is just what I've been looking for as of late. And I clicked the wrong thing. I was trying to check the stream real quick. But yeah. He's just a man. Just a little man. Little one-arm bandit man. That's double. 4 times magnified. Yeah, and this all came from this. There we go. We got the three characters I originally did. It was name pending. It was Miss Daisy, and who owns a Miss Daisy owns the only saloon in a small town. She moved out to the Wild West with nothing more but an old rickety slot machine. And every morning she goes down and she polishes that slot machine and she whispers to it, "Is today the day we get rich? Is today the day we get rich?" And that single slot machine and that single little saloon became the center of the town. Basically, people came there to get away from stuff, and the town grew from it. But she herself never really grew. She's just like one of the first people who moved there. And then one day she gets kidnapped. But who could have done it? Is it the jealous mayor? Is it the corrupt deputy? Who would kidnap Miss Daisy? The woman who essentially founded the town with nothing more but a single slot machine and nothing to her name. Who would save Miss Daisy? And the slot machine comes to life, and he's like, "I will." And he goes out as the one-armed bandit and just starts wreaking havoc. That's kind of the general idea. It is a love story, if that makes sense. But he can never tell her that he loves her. He does it all for Miss Daisy. And the running gag I have is like every time someone meets him, they don't know what he is or who he is. They just think he's this regular guy. They go, "Who are you, stranger?" And he goes, "It doesn't matter who I am." And that's always the line. "Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am. Where's Miss Daisy?" And that's it. Once again, name to be determined. Let me actually save this file. Save. What's this? Oh, that's right. It's you know what? I don't need these. I'll just close it the way it is. It's a JPEG. Don't save. So yeah, we're gonna call it a night, guys. All right. People for jumping in. Dota Sleep, thank you for dropping in. Thank you for just, adding stuff to the chat. Clitoris Rex, always good to have you. So I didn't catch your pun earlier, because I didn't realize it was with reference to something I said earlier. Oh well, sorry about that. And thank you to anyone who might be watching this later on. Once again, all these videos are saved permanently on the YouTube channel. That's The Burgle Sort. All the links in the corner right there. Pretty much everything is The Burgle Sort. The Twitter, where I just do rambles. The YouTube channel, where I do scripted and non-scripted stuff. And how to do videos. I have some quick vids, as they're called, where like in a roughly 15-minute time, I show you really quickly how I make a prop. I have my DeviantArt page, and more importantly, I have my own website. The DeviantArt page has a much larger gallery because it covers stuff I've been doing for years. So it's a good gallery page for everything. But check me out on theburglesart.com. There you have a general gallery of what I've been up to lately. You have small portfolios of roughly 5 to 7 images of toy designs, character designs, and film work I've been doing. Lots of props and costume stuff. I'm slowly developing that website, working more and more with it, so stay tuned for that. I might upload, when I start redoing comics, I have some old comics on DeviantArt, I might redo 10-page comics, things like that. I might start moving them over to that website. But if you want to see a general of everything I have, check out my DeviantArt website. Instagram is for works in progress, just photographs of, hey, check this out, I just started painting this. You're going to find that there as well. And I want to say that is it. So once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.